The text came at 12:47 a.m. Don't wait up for me, babe. I'm crashing at Claire's. Too much wine. Haha. Love you, red heart. I stared at the message until the heart emoji started to blur. Not because I was tired, but because something deep in my gut twisted hard. I knew that tone. Too casual, too light, too calculated. Claire lived 20 minutes from the hotel where the company was holding their annual party. I dropped Emma off myself, kissed her cheek, and told her to have fun. She'd worn the blue dress I bought her for our anniversary. The one she said made her feel like a storm. Now, at 12:47 a.m., that storm was sitting in my chest. We'd been married 8 years. Emma was my best friend, or at least that's what I used to say when people asked how we kept it together. She was kind, ambitious, funny in a way that made you feel like she saw you completely. But lately, something had shifted. She started staying late at work. Quarter end, she'd say. Or, Mark's a nightmare, boss. You know that. She'd laugh it off. But every night, her phone seemed to live more in her hand than in her purse. Notifications, smile, she tried to hide. When I'd ask, she'd touch my arm and say, "Don't be paranoid, Luke. You're better than that." And I believed her until that text. I tried sleeping. I really did. But at 1:20 a.m., I was sitting in the dark, phone in hand, staring at her last location on Find My Phone. It was off. She never turned it off. My pulse pounded. By 2:10 a.m., I'd thrown on a jacket and was in the car. I told myself I was being stupid, that I trusted her, that marriages only break when trust disappears first. But even as I said it out loud, the lie felt heavier than the truth. The hotel's parking lot was half empty. A few cars, lights flickering from the lobby. I saw her company's banner still hanging near the doors. Caldwell Finance Building Futures. I parked across the street and waited. At 2:43 a.m., the side door opened. Laughter spilled into the cold air. 2 men, 1 woman. The woman was Emma. She wasn't stumbling or drunk. She looked happy. That particular happiness people wear when they think no one's watching. Mark Caldwell, her boss, was beside her. His hand brushed her back as they walked to his car. She didn't flinch, didn't move away. I gripped the steering wheel until my knuckles went white. They stopped near his car. He said something. She laughed again, soft, familiar. He leaned in and kissed her. Not tentative, not accidental. She didn't stop him. When she finally pulled away, it wasn't in guilt. It was in reluctance, like leaving something she wanted to stay in. They drove off together. I don't remember how long I sat there. Engine off, headlights dark, just the quiet hum of betrayal in my ears. My chest felt hollow, like someone had scooped something vital out of me and left only the echo. By 4 a.m., I drove home. Her side of the bed was cold when I lay down. I stared at the ceiling until dawn painted the room in dull grey light. At 6:32 a.m., the front door opened. "Hey," Emma called softly, as if testing the air. "You're up early." I didn't move. She walked in, hair tied up, wearing one of those oversized sweaters she knew I loved. "Cla's couch is murder," she said, dropping her purse. "How do you sleep?" I turned my head slowly. "Did you?" She froze for a moment. "What sleep did you sleep well at Claire's?" Something flickered in her eyes. "Too quick, too practiced." "Not really. Too much wine." She gave a weak laugh. "Why?" I sat up. "Because you weren't at Claire's." Her face drained of color. I reached for my phone. "You turned your location off. You've never done that before." She blinked once, twice. "You tracked me." "Don't," I said quietly. "Don't turn this on me." She stepped back. "Luke, it's not what you think." "Then tell me what it is." Her hands trembled slightly. "It's complicated." "It's simple," I said. "You lied." Tears welled in her eyes, but I couldn't tell if they were real or part of the act she'd learned over the years. The same act that once made me fall for her compassion. "I didn't plan it," she whispered. "It just happened. Mark and we've been close for a while, but last night, I don't know. It got out of control." I laughed. Then it wasn't funny, but the sound came out anyway. Bitter. Hello. You don't accidentally kiss your boss at 2 o'clock in the morning. She flinched. I know. I'm sorry. Sorry doesn't fix this. She looked at me desperate. Please, Luke. I love you. I made a mistake. Do you even know what love is? I asked. Because love doesn't sneak around. It doesn't lie through emojis and borrowed excuses. For a moment, the room was silent except for her quiet sobs. Then something in me shifted. The anger cooled. Not gone, just transformed into something sharper. Get dressed, I said. What, we're going to breakfast? She blinked in confusion. Now. We sat in a cafe down the street, her favorite one. She stared at the cup between her hands, unable to meet my eyes. I watched her, calm, detached. Why are we here? She finally whispered. Because I want you to remember this, I said. Every word, every look, every second. Her eyes lifted, searching mine. Luke, I leaned closer. You're going to tell me the truth. All of it. Not the edited version. Not what you think I want to hear. Tears spilled down her cheeks. She told me everything. How it started with harmless jokes after meetings, long hours, drinks after work. How he made her feel seen again. How she'd convinced herself it wasn't an affair until last night. Every word was a blade, carving away whatever love I had left. When she finished, I just nodded. Okay, I said quietly. Now it's my turn. By the time we left the cafe, she thought the worst was over. She didn't know I'd already called Claire that morning. Claire, who told me Emma hadn't been over in weeks. Claire, who'd sent screenshots of texts between her and Emma from the night before. Proof of another lie. She didn't know that before breakfast, I'd emailed every message, every photo, every lie she told me to her work account, copied to HR, and to Mark Caldwell's wife, whose email I'd found online in 5 minutes. I didn't do it out of revenge. Not exactly. I did it because she needed to face the truth she'd buried beneath. I'm sorry. When her phone buzzed at 9:17 a.m. and she saw the sender's name, her face went white. Luke, what did you? I made sure, I said softly. You'd regret it. She stared at me shaking. You ruined my life. No, I said standing. You ruined ours. I left her there in that cafe, surrounded by the smell of coffee and shattered illusions. That night, I sat alone in the house we built together. Her things were still there. The book she never finished. The blue mug with the chipped handle. Her perfume still lingering in the air. It should have felt like victory. But it didn't, because betrayal doesn't end with revenge. It ends with silence. With a hollow space where love used to live. I opened my phone and scrolled to our wedding photo. Her smile wide, my hand on her waist. Both of us believing forever meant something unbreakable. Maybe it once did. Maybe it never did. The clock ticks softly in the background. 11:58 p.m. The day she disappeared and the morning I'd made sure she regretted it were almost over. But the ache that was just